Big 5-1 win today and a great game to stop the bad form and pick up some confidence. Just how impressed are you with the lads' performance today?
Yeah, it was way better. We were back to, in parts, back to what we were about in terms of being on the front foot. But then we've obviously struggled this last month. We got 60 points last year. We had 59 for a month. I thought I thought we'd get 60 within January at some point. We have done it. This think it was the end of January. Yeah, we were so much better. There's definitely things to improve. I'm really frustrated about the not getting a clean sheet. I'm also even more frustrated at the reaction of it, that it just seems, because we've been conceding recently, and I think you gave me that stat the other day, that we've essentially conceded, 34 now, 34. Up until last year, annual year, we'd only conceded 20 in the league, and then we conceded 13. That's just not good enough. And I think what happens is you sort of come resigned to the fact that, right, okay, well, we know we're going to score and we know we're going to create chances, but we may well concede one at the other end. Now, that's how it felt when it went in, that goal. As if like, oh, well, we'll give them one. Just thinking, if you're willing to accept one, you're willing to accept two. If you're willing to accept two, you may well be willing to accept three. And that's obviously what's happened recently. So I was really disappointed. And conversely, we played really well in the first half, I thought, last week. And I gave plaudits where plaudits were due at half time, and reflecting on that. It's funny, isn't it? You give someone a compliment for doing the things that they've done, and then they stop doing the things they've done well and start doing something else. But the point you got a compliment is because of the stuff you've done really well at. So I was conscious of giving him too much plaudits, and I really concentrated on that goal. I asked for 5 minutes of just running through everything, kicking anything that moved, and we scored after 2.5 minutes in the second half. So clearly that was better. The collectively as a management team, we've sort of thought about what we need to do. We need to be much more difficult to beat, which we were, and I think that's got to do the start. So that's what the performance is based on: being difficult to beat and knowing we're going to create chances at the other end. So, and as you quite rightly said, it was far better.
Unfortunate injury to Brad Walker just after his goal. Any update on how he's feeling as the injuries are starting to rack up now?
Yeah, so he felt like he's never really had an injury, but he felt a little niggle towards the end of the Durham game, and then he thought he was going to be all right, and then he scored, and then just the next thing he did was strike a ball, and it sort of popped in his quad, so that's not ideal. That being said, Drakey's been on away with work. He comes back in. Ollie scored. Ollie's firing. I'm a massive fan of Sam Clavier, so that he can fill in place as well. Alex Burton, probably was down today watching. His injury's probably not going to be as worse as we originally thought, so that might be okay as well. So, yeah, it's going to happen. Like the heavy pitches, lots of games. Yeah, thankfully that we've got players to be able to fit in. Not ideal for Brad, but thankfully we've got players to be able to fit in and see where that goes.
A goal today for Harry Atkinson, and I thought it was a strong defensive performance in the second half as they kept their shape well, even though it was dominant. In particular, I thought Slab and Harry Lee were brilliant today. Just how underrated is the contributions of players like Harry Lee today, who I thought won every duel and played some brilliant over the top balls to Harris.
Yeah, it doesn't go unnoticed from us, and it's that 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 every single week, and that's what we've been looking for from Slab as well. Slab's had a difficult bit because he's been not really been first choice. We've obviously potentially got two right backs. He can also play centre half. We've been pretty strong in there as well. So Slab's had to take his chance when it comes, and what he did today was absolutely fine. I think he might have made one mistake from memory in terms of what I can think of it, what he did, and he maybe got caught in midfield once. But you're absolutely right. He earned his goal. He did well in terms of putting balls in good areas, asking lots of questions, very similar to what Harry does on that side. So yeah, they might go unnoticed from other people. They don't go unnoticed from us as a management team, and they definitely don't go unnoticed in terms of the players, because they know exactly what they're about.
Goal off the bench today for Ollie Holt. Did he impress you in his cameo off the bench, and could he maybe earn himself a place in the starting 11 with performances like that?
Yeah, I would imagine he would. Yeah, especially it wasn't just his goal; it was his all-round quality. And for someone so young to want to get in amongst it and get his legs dirty and get his knees dirty is also really impressive as well. So he has lots of quality. I think it's almost like when you see him playing like that, you're like, oh, I wish we brought him on 10 minutes earlier. So if you're thinking like that, maybe, as you quite rightly said, he's maybe earning a little self a spot. It's difficult. You've got to with Ollie because he's so young. I think depending on how the game starts, and someone spoke to you about it before the game as well, if Ollie has a good 5 minutes, very similar to myself as a player, if you have a good 5 minutes, the rest of the game is an absolute breeze and you'll be fantastic. But because he's 17, is it the idea that, and I don't think it's the idea of a big tackle. I think some people will say, oh, well, if he's smashed early doors and he doesn't really want to know. I think if you smash Ollie early doors, I think he wants to know even more. Which is pretty good because someone actually smashed him in the warm-up. So Murray smashed him in the warm-up, and I thought, all right, Ollie's here to do something today. And I was right in what he did. It's nice to have quality off the bench. So whether that's Sam, whether that is Ollie, whether that's Drakey as it was today, it's nice to have quality that comes into those areas as well. So it's not 11 on the pitch. It's obviously a squad game. And we obviously have quality on the bench as well. So we're deep in that respect.
How big of a relief is this dominant performance to picking up your season again and continuing that push for promotion?
Yeah, well, it's just one step in the right direction, I think, isn't it? It's definitely not a huge leap. It's just a little step in what's going to be a difficult month. Like we've got some you would potentially say local derbies against South Leeds and then UFCA, and we beat both those teams, so they want to beat us. Both are doing particularly well, so that's going to be a challenge. We'll take one game at a time. We'll take South Leeds, who have got good players, who have got good management. So we're going to take them, we'll do what we need to do. It's all right, it's giving compliments, and I know people have said, oh, that we're playing well, and it's funny that some supporters shouted on we were 2-0 up. Oh, well, we'll take playoffs and you can win the league. And then when we lost 5-3, it was a little bit like, no, you can have the playoffs and we'll win the league. So, yeah, we get a lot of plaudits in terms of the way we play and when we're playing well. But as you've seen over the last month, there's times in which we haven't played well. So we can't rest on our laurels. We've got to be exactly as we were today, focus, take one game at a time, make sure we win every single game or come into the right mentality of trying to win every single game.
Cheers, Rob. Well done today.
Cheers.